you've done, what you're doing. We all must act according to our nature, no matter what the psychologists and priests say. And your nature, I think I was right before. You are like a rat, resourceful, sly, burdened with a kind of pestilence of the mind. This station was your laboratory, and the experiment was a failure. And, of course, sadly, you know what happens to the rats when they are no longer needed.
Cleared. Operator deployment resuming. Requesting new level.
Moving. Additive adjustment required.
This is William Yu, acting chairman of the TranStar Board of Directors.
I will need your credentials to authorize this mission.
Of course. My authentication sign is Zeta Invictus Emperor Tangerine.
Sign checks out. Good morning, Director Yu. Shuttle is hot and holding orbit. Awaiting mission parameters.
You must secure every piece of Cobalt clearance level technology and research aboard Talos 1. Then eliminate all TranStar personnel.
All personnel.
No survivors.
It's your show. And their funeral.
Payment will be deposited into 6 separate Benelux accounts. After you transmit evidence of success.
I leave my operator feeds on. Just keep watching.
We strongly advise deploying your technical officer to a station router inside the firewalls first. Ideal site would be Psychotronics.
Yes, I've seen the schematics, Mr. Yu. Goodbye.
You will destroy this transmission after...
Requesting new operator.
I'm told my ops are hidden as an HR expense in the TranStar books. It's true. I do solve people problems. Your workmates hiding in the cargo bay are going to suffocate in a few minutes. Maybe you can save them, but you'll have to come out of the walls, Rat. Life support. The clock is ticking.
Morgan, Dal's cut off oxygen to the cargo bay. There's nothing I can do from here, and none of the doors are responding. Atmosphere controls are in life support. If you can help, do it quick, or this is the last time we'll be talking.
Miss Salazar's right to be alarmed, though her assessment is mistaken. Dahl is manipulating the oxygen and nitrogen mixture. With nitrogen flooding into the atmosphere, anyone in the cargo bay will asphyxiate far more quickly than had he simply cut the oxygen. I suspect they'd already be dead if Dahl weren't trying to use them to manipulate you.
Morgan, January was right. It was not you.
Seems you do give a
But
damn about your
I
employees.
keep hearing your voice. And my father's voice.
Maybe you just
It was
really
not
want to
you.
kill me.
I know.
This makes it
You
very
saved me
easy
because
for
you
to do my
wanted to.
job.
That is not the same person on that recording. Something's changed. I need to see that. I'm better now. I'll do what I can to get us off the station alive, but that log is coming with me. If you truly want forgiveness, you'll help me get it to where it belongs. No matter what that means for you and TranStar.
Warning, suit integrity damaged. Operator alert. Aperture clear. Operator deployment resuming. Requesting new operator. N-CN9 black box operator ready to deploy. Please stand clear about. Warning, suit integrity damaged. Casper.
I'll read you.
What's the situation in Cargo Bay?
Holding. Small group of survivors still present. Oxygen nearly depleted. I expect loss of consciousness momentarily.
Good. We'll see how our friend Morgan responds. Have you been able to put a tap on Morgan's transcribe?
Negative. The encryption is trivial, but another user is employing countermeasures against me. I would like to dedicate more processing power to it.
You can't stand to be beaten. No. Keep current allocations. Is it Alex?
There is no person aboard Talos 1 who can perform operations as fast.
It's another operator.
Improbable. There are none like me.
Every one of you thinks that.
Morgan! Air's almost gone.
Follow.
Please, kill that sociopath acquiring it.
Alien threat detected.
I'll arrange transport with the medical operator. Then we can see about removing his neuromod. And hopefully, gaining his shuttle in the process.
Morgan, the air's flowing again. I can breathe. And I hope this means Dal can't. Thank you. A little longer and... Never mind. Elazar out.
Dr. Igwe, we have the subject, Dal, and his life signs are stable. Thank you. We are prepping him in the Neuromod division now. Come as soon as you can.
Neuroimaging shows your mental resources are wasted. This should help. You should feel really glad. Report. All major servers and terminals are locked down. RIP and intercept protocols are in operation. Searching access patterns within the last 3 hours. Progress estimate, 63%. Affirmative. Resuming. Data vault.
Doors are working again, Morgan. Nice work. I'm taking what's left of my crew to the atmosphere controls in life support. We're going to clear out Dal's shitcat operators and make sure there are no more mishaps with the air on this station.
Populated his entire crew with customized operators. He made the mistake of hanging his hopes in a machine. Flesh and blood is messy, Morgan, but it's the only thing that matters in the end. Well done. Your upload just kicked in. We have important work to do.
Doors are working again. I'm taking what's left of my crew, controls and life support. We're going to clear out Dal's shit-cat operators and make sure there are no more mishaps with the air on this station.
Cal populated his entire crew with customized operators. He made the mistake of hanging his hopes in a machine. Flesh and blood is messy, Morgan, but it's the only thing that matters in the end. Well done. The upload just kicked in. Meet me in the operator. We have important work to do.
Alien threat detected.
System alert. Repairs needed.
Dr. Yu, Morgan, I was afraid you wouldn't make it. The subject, Dahl, has been secured. I believe I've isolated the correct neuromod. It is essential we say as little as possible of what has happened on the station and focus on the situation. Dahl, if memory serves, should resort to field training and react accordingly. He was never one to question orders. Ready when you are, Morgan. Remember, if this works, say nothing. When extracted, Dahl's memory should revert back to the inception date, and he should forget his assignment here. Dr. Yu, ready when you are.
What? Who are you? Morgan? Your father's been asking about you. And Alex. I was supposed to report to him about her retrieval after modding up. Where am I? Why am I restrained?
Commander. Dahl, I am Dr. Igwe, Chief Physician here.
I've seen your face in the company directory. Alex's pet. The discredited parapsychologist.
Commander Dahl, you suffered a severe head injury as a result of a crisis here on the station. We need to evacuate at once, but we couldn't leave without you. Are you able to pilot a shuttle?
What? Yes, of course I can pilot. Wait, what emergency? Is this Argus installation? Where's Casper?
I'm afraid there's no time to explain. We need to get to the shuttle bay and prepare for departure. TranStar mandate. Dr. Yu can confirm.
Of course. Morgan, you look like shit. All right, let's get Daddy's precious child off the station, or TranStar will blackbox me.
Just need to check your vitals. Wouldn't want our pilot to faint.
There's nothing wrong with me.
Morgan, we're in life support now. It's all clear. Air's normal across the board. I lost some good people
We'll meet you
fighting
there,
the black
Morgan.
boxes. And Dahl wasn't here. If you see him before I do, make him pay. Elazar out.
It's by design that I can predict what you're going to do fairly often. And yet, this turn of events
Lead the
with
way,
Dahl,
Morgan. We'll catch up.
I'm impressed and surprised you've managed to find a way to get remaining crew off the station.
Hello, Volunteer. My name is Bianca Goodwin. I'm the volunteer and guest liaison aboard Talos 1. I wanted to be the first person to congratulate you when you woke. On behalf of everyone at TranStar, well done and thank you. I'm sure you feel disoriented. This is because you've just experienced a medical procedure known as aptoregressive neurotomy. For the next few hours, you might have trouble with fine motor skills or recalling details. More importantly, your memory of the tests is completely gone. But don't worry. I want you to know your willing participation was a big success. It's already yielding valuable information for our scientists and engineers. So, please, rest easy for now. Once you feel well enough, I'll come by to conduct your exit interview. See you soon. Hello, Volunteer. My name is Bianca Goodwin. I'm the volunteer and guest liaison aboard Talos 1. I wanted to be the first person to congratulate you when you woke. On behalf of everyone at TranStar, well done and thank you. I'm sure you feel disoriented. This is because you've just experienced a medical procedure known as aptoregressive neurotomy. For the next...
I promised you my arming cape. All I ask is you hear me out first. And you can blow Talos 1 to pieces if that's what you think is best. I don't think you'll do it. I know. Because I used to think we couldn't be trusted to play with fire without burning the house down. But you convinced me. You showed me anything was possible, even if the price was steep. That part of you is still in there. We can make history, Morgan. Not those leeches on the TranStar board of directors, not Mom and Dad. You and I. Just like we planned. We've got the data to confirm what you suspected. And Carl is broadcasting a neural signal. A secret message reaching to the stars. What I want to know is what is the message? And who is listening to it? I think you know. Ever since we first tested the Typhon neuromods, you've known. This fabrication plan is for the null-wave device prototype you conceived. It will hijack the Carl signal and use it to deliver a massive shock to every Typhon organism at once. Take it. And the arming key, like I What? Morgan!
So, my voice is obviously familiar. Probably sound more tired than usual. It's been never-ending, setting up the rooms and protocols to test the new mods. The risk is substantial, but if we succeed, copying neural networks from the Typhon onto human minds is going to change everything. So, I'm putting myself in the sim. I've done everything I can to make sure I don't wind up lobotomized. One last safety measure. Let me introduce October. Say hello. Hello, Dr. Yu. October will help you remember what you're supposed to do if things go sideways. Once testing starts, there's no going back. When they uninstall the mods and reset the test, it'll rewind me. I'll forget everything. Theoretically, they could keep me reliving the same day over and over, and I'd never know. If you're listening to this, that's probably what happened. It also means I don't know if I can trust my own brother. Alex won't like what I have to say next. I've started plans for a prototype null wave strong enough to kill every Typhon on Talos 1. I hid a copy of the plan on top of the data tower by the scary chair. You know the one I'm talking about. Alex agreed to explore the idea, but I know my brother. First sign of trouble, he'd rather blow it all up and blame someone else. So you're probably on your own. There's a lot at stake here. Too late to stick our heads in the sand. You know what to do.
Thought we couldn't be trusted to play with fire without burning the house down. But you convinced me that we could do anything we imagined. No matter how ridiculous. I hope you still believe that. If not, then I'm glad I died before seeing my brother succumb to pessimism. We have the data to confirm what you suspected. The coral is broadcasting a neural signal. It's reaching out to the stars. What I want to know is what is the message, and who is listening to it. I have a feeling you already know. I'm carrying a fabrication plan for the prototype null wave device you conceived. Make one, then place it at the heart of the coral. We will hijack the coral's signal and use it to deliver a massive shock to every Typhon organism at once. Good luck, Morgan. I just regret I won't be at your side to see it happen. Thank you for what you did. You couldn't let me to die. It's more important than ever now that we finish this the right way. Take care of the null wave device. I'll head for the bridge as soon as I catch my breath.
More specimens required.
Morgan, you anticipated the kind of appeal Alex would make. Sibling bonds. History. You programmed me to refute him point by point. However, we can skip that. A Typhon the size of a skyscraper is currently eating Talos 1 for lunch. Ergo, Alex is wrong. Destroy the station. Just as you planned. The blast will take the monster down with it.
Destroy the station? But didn't you hear him? The null way. Alex is correct. It could work and preserve what we have learned here. We have to try.
Ikwe, look at the alien outside the station.
Of course it's a risk, but we've seen the generator work. To destroy all this, to murder a species, and the research lost. It's...
Manuel is right, Morgan. We can't let these things get back to Earth, even if one of them hit their side.
Morgan, please. Destroying the station should be the last option, not the first.
Research complete.
This is it. Either you destroy Talos 1, or that creature destroys us.
Placing the null wave device there will override the entire coral network with our own signal. Use your cytoscope to locate the exact spot.
How can something like that exist?
Data has changed since the previous pay cycle. Please contact him immediately. Mr. Tucker's office is on the second floor of the lobby.
hasn't occurred to you, I'm sure it will eventually. Don't do it. I can't predict what would happen if you scan the Apex, but all my models point to suffering.
Scanning. Neuroimaging shows your psychoactive potential is at or near peak level.
Coming through. Inspecting. For some wear and tear. I'll fix that. Definitely.
Microgravity detected.
Something. The reconstruction is destabilizing.
They're lying to you.
Hurry.
That should do it. Come to the bridge. We can finish this thing once and for all.
like teeth in the brain, sinking in. You feel it, MU? Screaming is louder now. Getting close. I think screams are coming from the future. MU. Screams of people on Earth. Screams an animal makes when caught in a hunter's jaw.
Assume Alex's plan succeeds. Then what? You're taking a massive gamble that there aren't more predators like the Typhon. In the history of the universe, humans have only recently become self-aware. Yet you're going to kick the door open on a much wider and older cosmic ecology. One that feeds on consciousness. These are shark-infested waters. Alex believes we can be the bigger shark. But what if we're just poor swimmers, and now there's blood in the water?
Microgravity detected.
Igwe, what's the update on our patient?
Commander Dahl is making a speedy recovery and we are making our way to the shuttle bay. I've informed him of the threat to the station and...
Fine. Morgan, I'll meet you in the shuttle bay.
What the hell have you done?
I simply acted on Morgan's orders.
Nonsense. You're a machine. An ill-conceived one. Morgan would never... You tricked him. Who programmed you?
I represent the desires of Morgan Yu. Circa January 12th, 2035. Your brother created me to ensure his objectives would meet with success, and that yours would fail.
Mine? There's no difference between what I want and what Morgan wants. Not the real Morgan.
The idea of a real Morgan is fiction.
There's got to be an override.
Please step away from the terminal. You've left me no choice. I'm sorry, Morgan. I didn't want to harm your brother. The directives you gave me require I do everything in my power to ensure you destroy Talos 1 and all the Typhon. Detonating the station safeguards the Earth, and perhaps provides a small measure of reparation. You know how neuromods are made. The demand will only increase. In the future Alex envisions, many will die for the benefit of a privileged few. I won't relinquish control of the terminal. If you want to activate the null wave, you'll have to kill me.
Good evening, Talos. A word from our...
Soon, the Apex Typhon will have invaded every quarter of Talos 1. Decide.
...are reserved for authorized uses only. If you're not wearing a blue uniform, you're probably not authorized.
What is a neuromod? Well, it's both an easy answer and a complicated one at the same time. It is the future, today. More importantly, our past, today. This is the work TranStar does. Every employee working together. It's immortality, and it is beautiful.
To beat the mind game. And now it's time to beat the mind game. And now it's time to beat the mind game.
It's finished. How did it do?
Activation of the mirror neurons is promising. Empathy quotient shows to be exceptionally high.
It probably thinks it was dreaming, and nothing mattered.
You're assuming it thinks like us.
Its life depends on it. Ours too. It all comes down to the choices it made.
It saved me from the cargo container. I would have suffocated otherwise, and later it recovered the Leitner connectomes. They were of no practical use, except that they were deeply meaningful to me. It's remarkable that it never installed a single Typhon-based neuromod. In my view, This demonstrates a strong identification with us, but its most surprising act was sparing Dahl. While perhaps for purely selfish reasons, this, at least in principle, enabled others to escape Talos 1.
Michaela.
I would have died without my medication. That wasn't easy. That says a lot, I think, about its heart. Can I say that it has a heart? It also found my father's records. And then, I did not expect this, but it let me listen to them. Despite the self-incriminating content, it was willing to make itself vulnerable. Then, there was a man in psychotronics, Ingram. It let him go. Was that mercy?
Would you let it live?
Yes.
Sarah, you're next.
The situation in the cargo bay was bad. None of us would have survived without its help. And it destroyed a large number of Typhon across the station. That has to be a good sign. Further, it thwarted Dahl's attempt to use us as hostages. If it were one of my officers, I would give it a commendation.
Danielle, what do you say?
It found me. It didn't need to, but it did. I asked it to stop Volunteer 37, but it left him alive. It could mean a low drive for retribution. A lot of humans controlled by the Typhon ended up dead. Not that it was easy to avoid, but I just don't think it's worth the risk.
In the end, he chose to activate the null-wave device. Why? To preserve the Typhon technology? We can't really know what its motives were for anything it did.
But we had to make a choice. You can hear us, can't you? Here. I want to show you something. What you experienced was a reconstruction based on Morgan's memories. This is the world today. We spent years trying to put what you can do into us. We never tried putting what we can do into you. Until now. You're the bridge between our species. I need to know if you see us. I mean, really see us. Take my hand if you do. We're gonna shake things up, like old times.
I'm sorry, Morgan. I didn't want to harm your brother. The directives you gave me require I do everything in my power to ensure you destroy Talos